I got parts falling everywhere, but look at all this room for activities. Hey guys, welcome back to Troy's Garage. My name's Troy. This is my garage. In this video, we're back on the 72 Mutton Buster. This video is about 4 months in the making, and that is no joke. You'll see as we go along, it's a month later, it's a month later, it's a month later. It just kind of is what it is. We're working on the cab mounts, we're working on getting some broken bolts out of the exhaust manifold. But enough of that, let's just get right into it. We got to get to these guys right here. That is the cab mount. I'm going to crack this thing open right here, and we're going to see how full of garbage that thing is. I'm going to guess 1 full inch of debris at the bottom of the thing. Any bets? Place your bets below. No more bets. Here we go. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I'm a little bit off, but there's a lot. Let's see if we can get your eyeballs on it. Oof. So you can actually see the top of the bolt, but yeah, there's debris all the way to the back in there. Maybe not a full inch, but more than there should be, but that's your first clue. When they start doing that, they're full of debris. I still have a rat's nest inside here that I've got to fish out as well. While I'm here, I'm going to treat all of this with the rust reformer. Obviously, we're taking out the cab mount. It goes all the way back at an angle like so, and then some of the floor as much as I need to make it structurally sound. But everything else I'm going to treat and paint with the Rust-Oleum stuff. Pretty awesome. Dang bolts. So mad about the exhaust. We were doing so good. There's one that's broken off right there. And then, oh, this top one on this back side as well. Dang it. I was doing so good too. Well, it's about a full moon later. I have made some progress off camera. More of the rust preventative removal on this section here. Also, got this thing in here, but it's loose. I still need to tighten it down, but the steering gearbox is back in place. This is just in here temporarily. That's the steering column itself. That's coming out because we're going to be doing interior on this thing eventually. But the very first thing I got to do are cab mounts and the floor repair. So I'm hoping to get this put back together enough that I can move wiring and such so that I can get to this and actually start demo on that cab mount right there. I still have a fuel line in the way, or did I take that out? See, it's been so long I can't remember. I'm gonna have to check though. But remember, safety first. Got my fire extinguisher right there. I'm going to move that fuel line. I think it's gone. Ah! Ow, freaking allergies. Ah! Anyway, safety first. Remove a fuel line if it's there. Double check, because you never know what the guy before you did. I've got to lower the truck down to the point where I can get a jack or something up under this A-pillar right here and rocker so that I can hold the truck up with that while I remove that cab mount and, well, do some surgery. That's what I'm up against. I'm just going to kind of put you on a time lapse here real quick while I figure some stuff out, but get that steering gearbox back in place. I'm going to hook up the hoses to it so it'll stop dripping. I just have a constant drip down onto the floor. But baby steps in the right direction. Feels good to be back on this project. Alright, did some dust cleanup. Dust? That was greasy, dirty, grossy, nasty, wanting to start a fire cleanup is what that was. Got it all scooped up and put in there. Pretty nasty stuff. But I'm going to be cutting, welding, throwing sparks, and I don't need any combustibles under there. I also moved my jack stands over, and I'm testing to see if my jack is tall enough to lift that. It will be with a chunk of wood, but I'm not sure how I'll support it long term while I'm doing the work. So still trying to sort that out. Not sure what to do. I'm basically out of time for the night. I know the sun's still up, but it's summertime. I don't have unlimited time to throw at these things. Hey, welcome back. It's been a full month. Off camera, I had to lower, I used to have the 6-ton jack stand underneath the frame and had it up too high. I couldn't reach the bottom of the A-pillar with my jack, so I couldn't even do anything to lift or do anything like that. So I put the 3-ton jack stand under the frame, lowered it 3 or 4 clicks. The hub is almost touching the ground, and I've got a 2x4 on a jack stand lifting the cab to approximately where it needs to be for a cab mount replacement. Although I don't really know why I think I need a cab mount. Yeah, there's not much there. I just used the shop vac down in here and vacuumed out rat's nest and all sorts of fun rusty mess. So now I'm ready to kind of get started on all the spot welds. Kind of hard to see down in there, but there's spot welds down inside this little drip rail thingy here. Inside the cab, there's some more. We're also doing a floorboard, floor pans in this as well. This part's messy and gross. I anticipate getting super dirty. This is the first one of these I've ever done, so trial and error. I'm going to try to figure this out, see if I can find an efficient way to do it. I'm a hack. I'm figuring this out as I go. And I did buy new bushings and bolts for the cab mounts, both the front and the back side. So they're going to be all refreshed, new bolts, etc. I'm sure that these things are rusted in there so bad I'm going to have to cut them out, use a torch, burn them, melt them, whatever I got to do to get them out of there. That sounds fun. But I do have my fire extinguisher right there, you know, for just in case. So let's get after this, see what we can do. All right, well, let's see. Hold everything. Hey, now we're right side up. So I expected this to be so much harder. There's the bottom bolt and the washer from it. I attacked the top of the bolt through this section right here for just long enough to almost ruin a blade. And I was like, that thing is not, we're gonna be here for a week, is what I was about to say. So what I ended up using was a breaker bar up through the top and just kind of wedged it in right here so that it couldn't spin around. And then I used pneumatic on the bottom and it spun free. I've seen guys on the internet fight these things for hours, and they've got acetylene torches out and making a huge mess. This was way easier than I thought it was going to be. I've seen way worse bolts than that too. So trying to see where, oh, I was hitting the washer. I would have been here for 4 weeks because I would have had to cut through that entire washer before I got to anything good. Looks like I hit the small washer for a second and then I attacked it again and hit the big washer. So, yep, that wouldn't have worked. So Sawzall's not the answer for this. Pneumatic air tools and a huge breaker bar, that's your answer. Got the bolt out. Now, let's see how hard it is to get the rest of this apart. Well, that was way easier than I thought. I should have left the camera rolling. I attacked it with just with this small pry bar Kind of got underneath it this way, pried all the way around as far as I could. It was getting crunchy, all this stuff was falling out of it. And then I went up from below, and the bottom one just fell clear out. So there's that guy. And then I was able to pry again from the top and eventually work the top one out as well. We're now Wi-Fi, not that it was doing a lot before, but now we got to be able to get this thing clear out. Things are escalating quickly. After breaking several drill bits, I realized, why am I fighting this when I could just cut it out and then I can drill straight up on it? So here goes nothing. That's pretty warm. It's a lot easier to cut through down there where there's so much rust. It's barely holding on. Alright. Slice and dice, baby. Slice and dice. Hey, like a can opener. Can't see nothing. Fogged up big time. It's only 85 degrees in the shop today. Let's see what we've done here. Put some light on it. There's the emergency brake. Almost cut through. Forgot about that. Sheesh, let's pay attention. Anyway, got that thing cracked open. Now we should be able to drill basically straight up. That'll make getting those out a lot easier. You can see I've been just kind of chewing through it. Breaking spot welds is not the easiest thing you do on a daily basis, you know? You are cleared for takeoff. Well, I'm back on the 72 F-100 that I call Mutton Buster. Well, I got the driver's side loose. I had to basically just chisel out, literally, piece by piece, use the cutoff wheel as much as possible to get just chunks of it to come apart and come out. Still have some remnants and whatnot, but I've got to get the emergency cable out of that hole. The new cab mounts are up here, and they don't have a provision for the emergency brake. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do there. Measuring across this, it's bigger than the one I'm taking out, so it's not a perfect match. I'll figure it out. Fake it till you make it. I'll put some spot welds on it in all the right places and just make sure it's super strong. That's the goal. Got to build me some floors too. Not excited about that one. Ear protection, a little slice and dice in action, some metal manipulation, and got it. Get out of here. All right, lots of room under here now, and some repair action to be done. Oh my gosh. In the next video, we get started on the floor pans. I did realize I'm missing some footage from that. I must be missing a memory card or something. That's what happens when it takes so long to get back to these projects. But we'll be doing those. You'll see the finished product when it's all said and done, that's for sure. I do have the whole other side to do, so I have the passenger side yet to go. More to come, right? This truck's a long way from done. I appreciate you following along. Please like, share, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you guys in the next video.